What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of I'm one of your hosts, Danny.
I'm your other host, Irma. Nice to meet you.
What is up, you guys? Welcome back to another episode. We are so sorry for not uploading on our regular time and our regular day. But unfortunately, as you guys have seen all over social media, that Alan's grandpa sadly did pass away. And we have been just kind of mourning and just trying to
process everything.
Everything.
It's a lot. Honestly, I will say, like, we do miss him dearly. He was always very close to us and everything. And, like, even though he wasn't, like, my grandpa blood or anything, like, I still considered him as my own because, of course, like, he treated me like if I was theirs as well. So, you know, we really do miss him. Rest in peace, little abuelito. We will miss you dearly.
I know, dude. I get so sad because it's like, I didn't expect this to be part of my bingo card this year. And you know, he was a very strong man, and I just really didn't expect it. Like, I had really high hopes that he was going to get better, and we all did. You know, we, of course, we're all going to pray and, like, make sure that he was going to be better. But unfortunately, we got the call early in the morning, and, you know, it happened. I try my best to, like, be there for Alan and, like, try to understand him. But, you know, there's nothing that you can say or do or even try to do that will make him get his grandpa back.
And it's just to take the pain away, because it's such a heartbreak, because obviously, you know, he grew up with grandpa and everything, and, like, seeing him here at the house and, like, seeing him how he is, and, like, honestly, it's still hard to accept the fact. I feel like once grandma comes back, it's gonna hit hard. And, you know, it's unfortunate. It's so sad, and I really don't want to come on here and cry because I feel like I've just cried enough. But once again, we will miss you, Grandpa, so much, and may he rest in peace. And, you know, he will forever and ever be missed.
I'm like, hopefully he has all the cafecitos all in the world up in there.
All the Splendas, all the Coca-Colas, all the little
Coca-Cola,
everything, and his little Hawaiian buns and everything. So honestly, I just know that he's in a happy place, and, you know, he is not suffering no more. He has always been a very strong soldier, a very strong man, and we really thought that he was able to push through, because he has pushed through so many battles, and this one, unfortunately, you know, it wasn't one of them.
So today, you guys, it is going to end up being a little bit of a sad episode, because we are talking about mourning and, like, a death. So if you have somebody that you love, please hold them tight, because we're not here on this earth forever. Be kind to one another, and, you know, just
cherish every moment.
Cherish every moment that you have. Rest in peace to abuelito, because I don't know, I've just been so sad that, like, I just can't. My mind even just coming onto this podcast alone, like, I can't get my thoughts straight. So
same. Like, honestly,
it's just a little hard to film. I don't even know how Alan did it, not gonna lie.
Yeah, honestly, I feel like right now we're just kind of, like, in a little rocky situation. So do bear with us. We're trying to, like, have this flow for you guys, but, you know, this is gonna be I feel like it's gonna be a little difficult episode. So once again, bear with us. But of course, we're gonna go ahead and
jump right into last week's comments.
Yes.
You guys had a lot to say in the last week's episode, so let's start off with the first comment.
Purple Bow 11. I love these usernames. Easy now. Wait, no, you guys aren't singing your intro. Please bring it back, guys. Crying face emoji. I know, girl. I mean, honestly, I feel like it just kind of, like, smoothly transitioned to our intro, like, let's talk pendejadas and stuff.
Well, let's also remember that the reason why we did it was because Alan had a meeting with one of his YouTube partners, and Yo de Chismoso, I was listening on in it, and she was like, oh, you can't cuss in the first 10 seconds or the first minute. Lo que sea. We ended up looking at our podcast, and a couple of our podcasts haven't been monetized, and, you know, sometimes me and Irma take the L because we're like, well, we already filmed it, we already edited it, like, I'm not gonna
post and not give you guys something.
And not only that, sometimes we re-edit it and YouTube already recognizes our video, so it's like, okay, girl, like, you're not fooling anybody, so we're not gonna review it again, and it's just gonna get confirmed by review that it's not gonna get any money, you know?
Exactly.
So sometimes we do take the L on it, but that's why we ended up taking out our intro from the very beginning of, like, what is up, you guys? Welcome back to Let's Talk Pendejadas. And that was one of my favorite parts.
It really was.
I don't mind the new transition. It's just a little easier because, like, we don't cuss in the first 10 seconds.
Yeah,
you know?
and it is a little bit of a struggle to not try to cuss too. So again, we're trying to just have these, monetize. Like, of course, we want to give you guys these videos, but also we're trying to get a payout on this because también we got rent to pay, honey. Like, we need the leverage there with the revenue. So other than that, let's go on with the next comment.
This is from Vero, VOXO_. Period. I love this episode. Boundaries are so important. Lately, my family has done shady stuff and disrespected towards me. This is giving me the affirmation I need. Next time I see them, I'm gonna respectfully tell them to F off. Love y'all. For sure, you guys.
Too,
love you, amiga.
Yes, but 100% take that advice. Of course, don't be like, a huge bitch about it. Like, even if you go off that route, it's just not gonna end well. So you just kind of have to like slowly maneuver that in. So I'm glad that we were able to help you out with that.
Yeah, boundaries are definitely something that needed to be talked about in the last episode. That's why we talked about it so much last week. But yeah, girl, like, set your boundaries. Don't be scared of anybody. Like, people are mad disrespectful. And yesterday, we had some friends over and we were talking about the whole situation with my family, how they hit me up. And this is my dad's side of the family, you guys. So, and I was also remembering about how all they kind of just do is talk shit and not get the facts right. And not only that, they don't move on.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that I'm able to set the boundary where it's like, girl, like, I don't need them. They don't need me. And they're not my blood isn't all family,
no,
girl.
It really isn't. And then
if they don't comprehend, sorry, Irma, but if they don't comprehend that you want respect and that's all you want, then you need to cut them off, girl. Like, you don't need that type of energy and negativity in your life. That's why I get a lot of questions of like, oh, are you ever going to speak to your dad's side of the family? Or are you ever going to speak to your dad? But I always say like, no, girl, like, I've made my full on decision because of the fact that I just don't want any more drama. Like, the last couple of times that I had a good relationship with my dad, there was another problem that I had to deal with. And yeah, you might say like, oh, set a boundary with them. But it's like, if you set a boundary with them 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times and they still don't get it and they're still bringing more problems into your life, it's like, there's no more boundaries to be set. These people don't respect you and you just don't need to be in their life. And I feel like I find it so easy to cut someone off in my life because there's a block button, girl. There is a change your number. They can come to your house if you want, but who the fuck is gonna do that?
Restraining order.
Yeah, that's true. But who's gonna do that? Who's gonna show up on your house unless you know for a fact that you know that you didn't do anything wrong?
Yeah.
Like, if I knew I didn't do anything wrong and you blocked me, I would definitely go up to show up in your house.
Yeah.
But when they're in the fault, they're gonna be like, girl, I'm not gonna deal with that,
honestly,
because they don't want to have that confrontation.
Literally, and it's exactly that. And it goes back to also like when you're just like hanging out with your family and you make jokes. Obviously, you fuck around. It's tough love, like 100%. But it goes back to our Hispanic families don't respect and push those boundaries and go a little too overboard and start disrespecting instead. You get what I mean? Instead of them like having jokesy fun, like we know we're all joking.
So like, let's say for example, like when I come, like sometimes in the podcast, you guys, I come for Irma, but I come for her in a joking way.
Yes,
and Irma will come for me.
That it's jokingly. Yeah. He knows that we're joking.
Sometimes Mexican families or Hispanic families, like what they will do is they will shade you, but they will shade you in a very harsh way,
disrespectful,
and very disrespectful, like super disrespectful. Like they'll say things that you're not even supposed to say. Like, it's just a lot. So definitely that was one of my favorite episodes that we had filmed, was about boundaries. If you guys want us to talk more about boundaries, we definitely can, and we'll bring it more up and more in detail. But let's just jump right into our next comment.
This is from @ngang01. Question: what's the type/name of whatever liquor that made y'all gag? Mine's Bucana. Got hella drunk, and every time I think of getting drunk, I get those flashbacks and be making me pass out. Girl, Bucana's disgusting, but I will tell you from now, the shit that makes me gag hard is any liquor.
I feel like you can't go wrong with any liquor. Like, any liquor is gonna make you gag, girl. Like, there's nothing different. But the one that made us gag was Don Julio 70. You guys, low-key, I really don't want to drink anymore. I'm really at a point where I really just don't want to drink anymore.
Bitch, you're gonna drink this Saturday. Vas a ver.
No, dude, I just don't want to. Like, I just really don't want to. Like, I just don't find the purpose. And it's so difficult for me to, like, want to be sober because like everyone around me
everybody's
drinks.
having fun. Everybody's like, hey, drink here, drink there, have this, have that, and you're just like,
and it's like, yeah, I have all the power to say no,
but
it's very difficult because I want to have a good time, you know.
Yeah.
And that's also another thing. It's like I know I can have a good time without alcohol, but you know, when you're just so used to it, you just don't know what a good time is without alcohol.
Exactly.
So I do want to stop drinking, but it's just so hard. Like,
it is hard.
If anybody finds a really easy way to help me, like, please help me because I'm really down. I'm so serious, girl. Like, I'm so serious. There's no need for alcohol in my life. Like, I just feel like there's just no reason, girl.
Nah, dude. Honestly, I mean, I don't mind the alcohol, to be honest. Like, yes, there's its negative effects, and yes, I will be gagging and stuff, but
I just feel like it's my hangovers.
Yeah,
honestly.
You know what? That's what it is. Danny has horrible hangovers that he cannot, like, the next day, all day, out. Like, when he's gonna get drunk the night before, just already exclude him for the plans for the next day because he will not be going out. He's gonna have an excruciating headache. Like, he literally knocks out all fucking day. Like, he doesn't even eat until, like, probably even the end of the night because you just end up throwing it up. So, I mean, 100% I get your end, but personally for me, I mean, the next day, generally, like, I have been noticing I do get more headaches now, but just because the older that we're getting, obviously. But it's not as bad. And I actually haven't thrown up the past, like, 2 times, I feel like. Probably, I don't know. But to answer your question good, though, the alcohol that for sure has made me gag the last time was Buzz balls. Buzz balls make me gag so fucking hard. The last time I had a little bit with Annette, and dude, no, she gave me a little bit. Disgusting, bitch. I fucking nearly gagged. She was like, God damn, you really don't like them, huh? And I'm like, no, I don't like them. I like, each time with the buzzball, I have to chase it. No matter what, I sound like a little pussy, but I will chase it. But if you give me some alcohol, like fucking tequila, yeah, I'm gonna gag, but at least I could get it down a lot easier. And vodka, disgusting. Get that shit out of my fucking face, bitch. I grew up, but in high school, I would drink vodka a lot. That was like my go-to drink. Bitch, get that shit away from my face. I do not like it. But yeah, I still drink some drinks with fucking vodka. But as long as I don't do straight up shots, I feel like, or vodka cranberry, that's another drink that I cannot, like, I could barely handle. But as long as it has a little splash of OJ, then I think I'm set. But next comment.
Alrighty, this one is from Cynthia4673. Love this episode. Let's talk about how moms feel it's okay to expose your business to the family and think it's okay to tell them all the bad shit you've done in order to embarrass you, or for it to be a lesson for other families / friends, kids to learn. And feeling like you can't tell your mom personal stuff because they'll go tell their siblings, your tias. This is something that I know that it's completely different because it's not my parent that I'm talking to. I'm talking to my tias. But when I used to want to have just a relationship with my tias and I didn't want to have a relationship with my dad alone, I would hate the fact that when I would update my family, I would update my aunts and be like, oh, I did this, I did that. I andan chismosas and going to go tell their siblings.
Yeah.
And I kind of put myself into perspective. Well, shit, my sister's my sibling. I'd do the exact same thing, girl.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Like, that's my sibling. So,
yeah.
You know, yeah, like, I understand, but you also have to put yourself in a perspective that, like, yeah, they're chismosas, but they're also siblings. You need to put your mom in her place at the moment that she's doing it because that's when she's going to get cut off guard.
Yeah.
Because if you end up just letting it happen, then it's just going to continuously keep happening and you're going to be hating her for no reason because you didn't tell her, like, you didn't communicate with her. Yeah. That's why we always say communication is key, and telling them at that moment will make them feel even worse because they know that they're doing something wrong and you caught them off guard. For example, like this girl or guy or whatever commented this and said like, oh, I hate when my mom talks about my personal stuff with my tias. Well, then at that moment when she's on the phone or están chismeando, you tell her, ¿por qué le estás diciendo esas cosas? ¿Quién te dijo que está bien que le puedes decir mis cosas a la gente? And if you're scared of your mom, then that's another thing that you gotta fucking overcome because you're not supposed to be scared of your mom.
No.
Something that my siblings and my stepdad say is like, oh, I'm scared of my mom. And I go, I'm not scared of my mom. Why am I not scared of my mom? Because she's not gonna kill me, girl.
She's not gonna
hit me. She's not going to punish me. What's she going to do? Put me on timeout?
You're an adult.
I'm an adult. She's an adult too. If something makes me uncomfortable, just like how when something makes her uncomfortable, she's going to tell me. So why am I not going to tell her?
Have a conversation like an adult.
Have a conversation like an adult. And if you feel like you feel uncomfortable, you tell them. I need everyone to understand just because you are family doesn't mean that you shouldn't tell them how it is. Yeah. Tell them as like when your friend makes you uncomfortable. If Irma makes me uncomfortable, I'll straight up fucking tell her. Irma, you made me feel uncomfortable because of A, B, C, and Irma vice versa. Yeah. Danny, you made me feel uncomfortable A, B, C, and D. Yeah. The exact same thing with your families. Yeah. Stop being scared of family members because they won't do shit, girl. And if they continue going on with them, then that's when you need to start being like, you know what, mom, ya no te voy a decir nada porque andas de chismosa, no me gusta. Point being, period. And that's when your mom will start understanding that it's like, oh shit, it really is affecting our relationship.
Yeah. Literally that. And to add on to that, guys, like, not gonna lie, when I read this comment, it hit so fucking hard because I had a huge ass conversation about my mom with this. I don't know if I've told you about this, but it was such a huge deal because like anything that I would tell her or like of me or anything, like she would go off telling my tias and stuff. Like honestly, like what I could remember, it started off from this time when I started my period. And, you know, of course, we're all girls, like it's normal and stuff, but that's something that I didn't feel comfortable yet to mention to like my primas and everybody. And literally, we were just chilling in the living room at home or whatever, and I get out the restroom or I forgot exactly what, but I know that I overheard my mom like, oh, sí, mi hija ya se empezó su periodo, and like talking all this stuff, and I'm just like, it just made me feel so uncomfortable because it's like, what made you think that I was comfortable with my tias when I was barely like comfortable with telling even you? Like, of course you're my mom and everything, but like
that should stay within like a mother-daughter thing.
Yeah,
like, I don't
it's a mother-daughter thing. And then like, once I get older, then yeah, okay, like I'll express it more because now I understand like it's a comfortable thing that you should be talking like with your primas and stuff, because it was just all my primas. But overall, at the end of the day, like it's just started continuously be doing that. Like anything that I would do, anything that would go on in my life that I would tell her, anything about my weight gain, anything about me personally, like I le decía, and like you said it yourself, you have to understand, yes, it's literally my mom's sisters, but it's like, there's certain things where I'm like, mom, te estoy diciendo a confianza. Te estoy diciendo cosas en confianza para que no andas así de metiche. I'm not here being a metiche daughter, and I didn't think you would be a metiche of a mom, but at the end of the day, I did like kind of blew off on my mom, and I was like, mom, why the fuck are you telling everybody like my stuff? Why are you telling everybody this and all this? And she's like, ay, mija, son tus tías. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. That's stuff that I'm telling you de confianza. Like, this is stuff that I'm telling you because I'm comfortable to tell you. But now, like, you're causing this brick wall that I don't even want to tell you anything. And this is why I feel like now I don't have that communication or that great bond that most moms and daughters have, because I generally don't feel comfortable telling a lot of things to my mom about, like, anything. Like, generally, I really don't. Like, yeah, I started telling her about my weight and like about the balloon, but like then it gets to the point where she just pushes and she's like, oh, so what's going on with you weight? Oh, what's going on with, and that's like this isn't being topic. And I'm like, mom, that I don't want that to be the main topic. Like, what if one day I'm just not feeling good and you mention it, like I just get triggered because I'm like, fuck, like I know I've been like doing this, I know this and this and that. So it's just like I feel like I kind of like built this wall with my mom, and I do want to break that wall because I feel like I do want to have a relationship with my mom like this. But también I have to say, like, I have to have this conversation with my mom because she intentionally throws shade, you know, and that's where it triggers me, and I'm just like, girl, like, this is why I don't tell you anything, because you're just going to be throwing shade later in the future. So, you know, totally get it, girl. I am there with you. I am preaching for that, but 100%, girl, like, I don't blame you. Danny, I'm so thirsty, dude. Are you thirsty?
I'm looking a little hungry too.
No, I'm thirsty and hungry and tired, y'all. We are filming in the morning, and we actually normally film at night. So, of course, we're going to be doing Sip of the Week. We actually do have some cafe.
Now, this is actual cafe, no tiene alcohol, you guys. So this is just our regular coffee orders. So if you guys have your coffee order, go ahead and comment down below right now. What is your coffee order at your favorite coffee shop? This is our favorite coffee shop here by our offices. It's called Lily's Coffee.
Lily Pop.
Oh, Lily Pop, girl.
It's Lily Pop, but we call it Lily's.
Yeah,
because
I call it
it's
Lily's.
how we remember it. But you guys, it's so fucking good. But the reason why we're not having alcohol, guys, so obviously, like, we are going to be going off on these touchy topics a little bit more later in the episode. So obviously we don't want to like sound slurish and just like, we just want to have our thoughts straight. Okay. So we're just trying to wake up and just trying to push through this episode. Cause obviously we're still kind of, you know, grieving a little bit of what happened with Grandpa and stuff. So
but you guys, our coffee order, mine is literally just a black iced coffee. I like my coffee how I like my men. Not being able to love me.
You're like, I like?
I'm just kidding. Mine is just a black iced coffee. Now, my food wise, it's just a plate. It's a, what is it, Irma?
It's a classic sausage breakfast sandwich on sourdough.
And then yours?
Mine is a, well, they call it a Richie style because that's the name of the owner of the guy, actually. This is 2 shots of espresso with, leche or whatever creamer that they put into it. I always forget that these are pre-made, so like I'm gonna be cagando later because I normally get my coffee with like oat milk because leche lately has not been hitting real good lately. Like I've been having the shits like at night and I normally don't shit at night.
We ended up getting a coffee because you guys, I have like the most excruciating headache right now. I don't know if it's because I drank yesterday, but I didn't even drink that much.
Oh, you drank yesterday?
Yeah, I drank over there for Father's Day.
Oh shit! With Lisa and
yeah, but I was like, I don't know. I was just upset yesterday, and like honestly, alcohol sounded so good just to kind of like get over it. So I took a shot of tequila, and it was a Casamigos, and then after that, I had this fucking drink that was literally half Malibu and half juice. Oh. And it got me so fucked up. Like, so fucked up that I couldn't drive. So Alan had to drive. And then as soon as I got home, I knocked the fuck out. And when I woke up, everything was spinning. I don't know. It was just so much. And I still have a headache right now. I just don't know what else to say, y'all. Like, I just have, like, a really fucking bad headache. Like, I'm pushing through right now to, like, do this episode.
Yeah, guys.
But, let's just eat, girl. Like, I'm hungry.
And then also to tell you guys my breakfast sandwich, I forgot to tell y'all. I got a Canyon special on an Asiago bagel. And this has jalapeno cream cheese, lemon pepper, sausage, and bacon, and huevo and quesito.
Okay, let's just eat, girl. I'm just going to take, like, a bite, girl, because I'm fucking starving. Okay, ready, y'all? Get in. Get in. Get in. Get in.
Oh, sorry.
I did that on purpose.
Okay. Honey, it's a fire.
I just need the food. So fucking good, not gonna lie.
It is really bomb. I've been wanting the breakfast sandwich, and the last few times that I've been getting it, it hasn't been hitting hard, but this time actually hit because we haven't been getting it for like a few days.
Yeah.
Because we usually get it like days consecutively, and I think I got to the point where I was like, okay, like I need to stop, and we haven't got it for like a whole week, I feel like.
And I really wanted Vietnamese coffee today, y'all. So for sure, Irma owes me that. Because, girl, I really wanted Vietnamese coffee today. And with the seaweed foam. Oh.
Seaweed foam?
You've never had seaweed foam?
Seaweed?
Yeah. That's what
like
it's called,
seaweed?
No? Yeah. Seaweed foam? You've never had that?
Isn't it just cold foam?
No, it's sea. I don't know if it's seaweed or if it's sea foam, but it's
foam. It's sea foam. I think it's sea foam because seaweed is the green shit, babe.
I know, but they can make that out of cold foam. It tastes different. It doesn't taste like regular cold foam.
Damn, hey,
it's delicious. It's bomb. Have you guys ever had that?
I haven't tried it, but 7 Leaves. 7 Leaves has the best Vietnamese coffee. That's where it's at, honestly. I know, huh?
Yeah, that's
we
pretty
should probably
good.
get that today.
Nah, y'all, but how about how Stizzy has pesticides in it, in their pods, girl?
Dude, the place where I would least expect it. Honestly, like, I'm sad.
Not too long ago, LA Times came out with an article of pretty much some cannabis companies that sell pesticides inside of their pods. And pesticides are inside of cigarettes as well, if you guys didn't know that. And there's a lot of major brands that are part of that whole thing. The whole reason why there's pesticides in some of the pods and some of your favorite companies as well is because California does not have regulations on weed yet. Like, they don't have laws on it yet. So whenever they make it,
already have, to be honest.
Yeah, that's what I would think, right? I mean, it's a substance, girl. Like, why wouldn't you have that controlled? These major brands are able to get away with stuff like this and are able to make a massive amount and distribute them and sell them because there's no regulations on certain chemicals that can be inside of pods. So the reason why I bring this up is because yesterday
It's true.
yesterday I saw my Stizzy pod and I was like, girl, this is not real. Like, it's not real at all.
Yeah.
And I hit it maybe like 2 or 3 times, and I promise you guys, I think I got a headache. And
I think, or you know?
no, I know I have a headache because of that reason. And I felt so dizzy. I've been feeling so dizzy from all of that. And that's one of the side effects that you get when you're hitting those pods is getting dizziness, lightheaded, have a headache, your chest starts hurting. So like I've been getting all of that since I hit my Stizzy. And I'm not lying, y'all. Like I promise y'all, like it's not even because I'm hungover. Like
no, because you barely drank them. Like
Yeah.
yeah, you had your drink, but like it's not like it was nothing crazy. Like if you had buzz balls or fucking intense. Because the last time he had a whole the group almost finished the bottle and shit with just shots. So
I didn't have a hangover.
there you go. Yeah.
I'm so shocked about that because you would think like
They would be good with regulations, especially in California. Like, Cali is the place for the Mary Jane. This is where Mary Jane basically lives in. So, it's just shocking to actually hear the news that this is actually going on with this pods. And I'm actually have to kind of investigate in the pods that I'm been using for the past year actually already, and I don't know how long like this thing has just been going on, but I'm pretty sure it's been for a while. I'm pretty sure probably the ones that I have, I'm pretty sure those were probably already was on the list as well, because not gonna lie, you even tell me también like,
oh yeah, I told her about that. No, I told her that they don't kill brain cells, they give you like brain cancer or something.
brain lesions.
I don't remember what
It's
the fuck
brain
it gives
lesions.
you, but it gives you something, girl, and it gives you something like really bad. Like,
and not even
I
that.
would stop smoking. That's why you should only smoke green.
Yeah, I feel
just
like
flower, girl.
we need to start smoking more flower instead.
Fuck pens, girl. I'm not smoking pens anymore.
I think I'm gonna have to stop for sure the pens, because like the ones that I have left, because I have, not gonna lie, like a whole baggie of just pure like live resin cartridges. But
What if that's why he's been fucking with your memory?
that's what I'm gonna say. Like, I haven't smoked the live resin ones because those look really dark and brown. Like, I don't think those don't look good. So I'm not gonna lie. I'm most likely gonna throw those away. But I'm literally on the last pod, and I haven't bought in one ever since or whatever, because I've had the stash. But ever since I started smoking those, I feel like it's been more of an issue. I don't know if you've noticed, but I've been forgetting more shit, or like, I don't know. I've just been feeling more off. I will say for sure. So the fact that like
It's literally
I don't
killing
acknowledge
us.
it like, and until now, and I'm already done with it, like it's kind of sad. But god damn, man, like we for sure have to start taking care of ourselves. Like, we need to start taking shit for our lungs, we need to start taking shit for our liver, because at this age we're fucking it up, honey.
Yep.
Everybody has to be taking care of our bodies. We have to take care of our bodies. So how about how we're gaining weight? I know y'all are saying this. Hold the fuck up. You're like, not me, bitch.
No, dude, I've gained like 10 pounds. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've gained a good like 10 or 15 pounds. As soon as I got out of surgery, I had lost all the 10 pounds.
Yeah, because, well, I mean, you were basically detoxing.
Well, no. Before I got into surgery, doctor was like, oh, so you don't throw up. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pump you. I'm gonna pump everything that's out of your stomach so you don't throw up so severely. And I was like, okay. I was like, so I was super excited about that part. So as soon as I got out of surgery and I was already better to like starting to get up and look down and stuff, I weighed myself and I was at the lowest I've ever been, like lowest.
What was it?
I was at 165.
Wow, dude.
So not like for my lifetime, but that was like the lowest that I've been in a while. Wow. So I was so happy about that. And I feel like as soon as I knew that I was so light, that I was like, fuck it. Now that I know that I'm light and I'm recovering, I'm going to eat whatever the fuck I want. So I started eating everything. And you know that because I started to have burgers and like dude, I had a lot.
Honestly, I feel like we've been going on a binge freeze on just eating out and like just being like fucking big bags. Honestly, not gonna lie, we've been really bad with big bags. Like, I'm not gonna lie, me too. Like, you guys fucking say it. Like, shit, not like I don't fucking know and I don't look at myself in the mirror every fucking day. But honestly, guys, it's been so fucking bad, and I feel like, I don't know if it's just a routine or it's just like trying to get back to the habits of like trying to cook at home, or just
I feel like mentally I've started to prepare myself where it's like, okay, I'm down to start cooking at home, I'm down to start eating healthy, I'm down to start doing this, like I'm down. It's
just trying to figure out the time.
It's just trying to figure out the routine of where it goes is the most difficult part. And I know I can make it so easy because I'm a stay-at-home person, like, and I know I have a stay-at-home job. Like, it's so fucking easy, but it's also so difficult because you're at home all the time that you want to munch out. And it's also difficult because we do smoke, so like sometimes our munchies get the best of us. But I feel like even when I was losing weight the first time around, I was still smoking, and like I was still able to be like, okay, if I'm gonna smoke, it's because I'm gonna eat. But I still haven't found that like that placement. Like I just, it's very difficult for me to remember how to go back into that routine.
And then also it basically goes with routine, I guess. But también we haven't been doing good with the eating schedule.
Exercising.
Exercising también. I haven't fucking gone to the gym for shit, honey. I haven't paid for that gym membership because I haven't gone, and they're calling me like, hey, honey, where's that payment? Oh, sorry, I don't have the money. I haven't gone. But literally, I feel like since we've just been working so much, and then of course, like, with the whole situation with grandpa, obviously, we only have been eating like in the morning y luego ya en la noche. Like, we literally don't eat throughout the whole day. We're literally fasting because we forget. We're so busy. We're so like, no, we have to do this. We could worry about eating until the end, but we have to sometimes like stop and be like, okay, dude, like we have at least like 30 minutes to make something quick. Do just algo por lo que sea, or even bring, if anything, we need to start bringing snacks with us, like fruta, granolas, like at least little shit like that, because we just constantly want to have like something. We want to munch on something. So I feel like as long as we get that situated, because I feel like, I mean, you were really good at it, and I felt like I was falling into that routine too. And I feel like
all of you guys follow me when I start my routine, because I'm a very good person where it's like, you shouldn't be eating that. I'll literally tell Irma, I was like, friend, you're having way too much of that.
Yes.
Like, you know that you're not
coming
supposed
with
to.
Fucking Danny about him saying this shit, because it's fucking true. Like,
you guys should be happy. I'm like supporting her. Like, at the end of the day, we support each other. There will be times where Irma will be like, "Oh, are you sure you should be eating that?" And I go, "Shut up, bitch!" I'm like, "Shut up!" I was like, "I can do whatever I want." And then she'll do the exact same thing. She won't say like "shut up," but she'll like straight up ignore me and then just eat it. And
I will have like those second thoughts, like not in a bad way. I'm just like, you know what? Like, he's actually right. I probably shouldn't continue eating this, because sometimes, like, honestly, guys, like,
you're like blind of how much you're eating.
Yes, I'm blind of how much I'm eating, and then also like I don't know when to stop. I actually don't know when my hunger signals or like my full signals are anymore. So that's why it goes on with that, and that's why I always like binge eat. And then also whenever Danny eats, I kind of like, I don't know if you noticed, but I kind of watch like how Danny is eating and how much he's eating, and I'm like, okay, like, am I eating a good amount? Am I eating more than I should?
Yeah, because even still now, like, I don't overeat, and you know that.
He doesn't.
Even just like alone, like, I'll get a bagel, but like I'll eat only half of it, just because I know like I shouldn't be eating all of it. Yeah, I should have just ordered like a half, but there's gonna be times where I'm like, oh fuck, I'm really hungry today. I'll eat it all. So I just don't know until I'm eating.
Overall, guys, we've just been, struggling a little bit on the weight gain, and no shame.
But we're not
anybody.
blind, bitch.
No, we're not blind. It'd be different if we're blind and we're being like big bags, and we're still being. But as long as we're acknowledging and everything, and the same thing with you guys. Hopefully, you guys like are in the same boat as we are, and you feel the same way, because I don't want to feel alone.
No, I just think it's super difficult. Like, anybody that says, "Oh, weight is easy," it's not. I keep telling myself, like, once I put myself in the routine, once I'm fit again, once I'm okay with it, and once I know I can eat like a bagel or I can eat like a pizza, whenever the fuck I want, and I'm fit, all right, then I can be like, all right, I can eat whatever the fuck I want. I'm chilling. I'm cool. Like, but just the first steps to getting to that end point is so hard.
It is.
It's so hard.
Because you don't have to restrict yourself, but you do have to be a little bit more careful of what you're consuming. And especially with the late nights. Like, we sleep pretty late at night. So obviously, even with Tia Angelica, we were kind of having this conversation that ellos no comen después de las 6, no comen cena. Like, they don't have dinner at all. Unless they said that only at parties or if they're here or anything. And I'm like, damn, like, I should probably start doing that, because all they have is breakfast and lunch y ya. Están bien. Like, whenever they're at home, they don't eat at past 6. Y ya, se duermen temprano y ya. And she tells us, she's like, but since you guys stay up late, obviously you guys are going to want to eat, because you guys are actually really hungry. You guys are up and stuff. So that's when she was telling me, like, you guys have to change your routine, be more mindful and stuff. In a respectful way, obviously.
Yeah. It's all just about routine, y'all. But
it really is.
That's pretty much it.
That's why I feel like I've been feeling okay going and at least being there, because I feel like it's helping me process, honestly. Like, I feel like each day it's getting a little easier, but I still have my moments throughout the day, obviously, where I'm like, fuck, like, leaving right now, I'm like, oh, fuck, you know? But point is, I feel like it's starting to just kick in that, and I feel kind of bad because when my grandpa passed away from my mom's side, not gonna lie, I really wasn't there. I really wasn't going to the rosarios at all. I probably only went to the first one, and I only went to the church, and that's pretty much it, which I will say now I kind of regret because I'm here doing it with Alan's abuelito, but fuck, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and say like I had more of a genuine relationship with Alan's grandpa, and it's sad because like obviously he's not blood, but I saw him way more often, and he would tell me really nice things, and damn, it's hitting so hard. So I just feel like I had more of a bond with Alan's abuelito, which is so sad because I feel like I could have had a bond with my own abuelito, and I know my mom kind of like sees that. And when I was trying to explain to my mom, like, hey mom, like, you know, I'm gonna be helping Alan out with like my abuelito, and I just started breaking down in front of her, you know, and I was expecting my mom to be a little supportive and stuff, but instead she just kind of like threw shade, and she was like, well, how about with your abuelita? You weren't really there for her and stuff. But it's like, it made me feel guilty because like, yeah, I wasn't there, but it's like I barely knew her. I didn't really like make the effort to get to know them and stuff. So I feel like
that's like something that you regret.
Now that's something that I regret for sure. But now I know with this, my parents pass away, which of course won't happen soon. Like, I for sure will have more like respects of going to like the ofrendas, the 9 days, and like going to the church and stuff, and like now respecting more the fact of where my mom's coming from about religion and like what she was wanting from her daughter, you know. So it just kind of hurts and it just kind of sucks because like I know I could have done better, but I guess I feel like at that moment the religion aspect was really still like stuck in my head, like, well, I'm not religious, I'm not this, I'm not that, so I'm not really gonna go. But it's just like, now that I have this new perspective, it's just a huge regret.
Okay. At least now you acknowledge it and that you repent it and like you regret it.
And I do, and it sucks because
now you just kind of have to build new relationships and be there for your parents because you weren't there for them. You know what I mean?
And yeah, and that's the thing. Like, I didn't mean to cry like this, guys. I'm so sorry, but like, it's just fucking sucks because I know my mom is like probably bien sentida right now. Like, I know my mom is just like, wow, my daughter literally couldn't even come to.
So what did you tell her when she told you that? You got mad?
I honestly, like, genuinely, like, I was just like, Mom, this is why I don't tell you anything. Like, I'm literally here crying to you, but it's fine. I'll just call you later. And I just hung up the call.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you something. You shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, I know. And that's
you should have. Personally, I feel like for you and your mom's relationship, if you really wanted it, you should have been like, yeah, Mom, I understand. I'm so sorry. I really do regret it that I wasn't there for my grandma, and I apologize to you. And, you know, there's nothing that we can do now, but right now, like, I'm really sad because of this, and that's it. You know, it's just the way that you word things and the way that I
just really got triggered from that.
You got offended.
I got offended and I got really triggered.
You got triggered, you got mad, and you got upset. When realistically, all your mom was really telling you was the truth.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a good thing that you realized it. Even though you guys haven't talked about it, I feel like even after the podcast, you should at least call her and be like, you know what, Mom, I understand. Like, I want to apologize to you because this is not okay for me. Like, I hope you understand that the reason why I wasn't like this because I didn't have a relationship with them, but I know I should have been there for just you and my dad.
I'm not trying to like praise me or anything, but it's just like, I feel like even regardless, like I was still more better there than my other siblings, and I just want to be that example also for my siblings. Like, hey, like,
well, sometimes
don't wait off on like anything, or like don't wait on me to fucking make actions or anything to do any activities. Like, for example, for fucking Mother's Day for my mom, like my older brother waits until last minute, like, oh, we should make a dinner for Korean barbecue, like right when I was about to take her out. Why didn't you fucking make those plans basically before the end of the day or in the morning or the day before? Like, why are you just thinking that until you see me do something about it? So it's just like,
you gotta stop caring about what your brothers do, because if they're not doing their own part, then you, as long as you're doing your part with your family, then you're fine. If your siblings want to be distant and they want to just be like at the moment, well, I'm sorry, dude, like that, like you kind of have to worry about your relationship with your mother and your dad. If they don't have a relationship with your mother or your dad, that's their fault, and they won't realize it because they don't have people telling them like we tell you.
That's the thing, that's why I want to be that person. I want to be the one. But sometimes it gets so.
It's been years. It's been so long.
Yeah.
You're tired of it, girl. Like you can't expect somebody to change like that, and it's been forever. Like that's the only reason why you and me are friends. It's because when we tell each other we need to change, we change. Yeah. But if you tell your siblings and they don't change, they still haven't changed. They don't even want to put the effort into changing. They even get offended when you tell them to change. Then just don't do it anymore.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's not about your siblings, it's about your parents.
Yeah.
Like
really
you can have a relationship with your siblings if they want it. If you want it, yeah, you can want it, but if they don't want it, what else can you do? You can't force a relationship.
No, 100%. It was like a little battle that I had with myself, I guess, with going back with religion, because I feel like at that moment when my grandpa passed away, like I was just so focused of like, I'm not religious or anything, but it's like now, like with grandpa, like it just put me in a whole different perspective of like, I don't have to pray, I don't have to do any of that. I just have to give my respects and be there and just mourn, you know? So for sure, that's probably like for sure a regret that I will forever have. But
well, now it's a regret, but at least you learned from it and you're going to be able to apply it and you will never have that regret again.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, all of my grandparents are dead, so yep, I can.
No, you still have your parents, girl. Like you still have your parents.
No, true,
like you,
but I don't
like
think
you,
of that right now.
yeah, like at least you can build a good relationship with your parents, and that's all that matters because they're still here.
Yeah.
And not only that, your parents are really old, girl. Like really old.
Well,
so
they're
like
not that old.
girl,
But
they're pushing almost 60.
My dad's already in his 60s. My mom's in her 50s. So it is getting to that point.
I feel once my mom hits, I feel like once my mom hits 50, I feel like that's where I'm gonna start paying a lot more attention to my mom because like. That's like almost like half your life. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, that's why I've been just having so many thoughts of this. And like, I've just been thinking so much because it's like.
And think about it this way, friend. Like my grandma passed away and she was in her 60s.
Yeah.
So like, and something that I just told my mom recently, she would always be like, oh, well, if you don't build a relationship with me, you're going to regret it because I'm going to die and you're going to, whatever. She always says that. Even when she's drunk, she's like, I don't want you crying for me because you didn't want to make a relationship with me. Yeah. And I go, Mom, you're not the only one that can die. I can die too. Yeah. It takes two people to build a relationship. If I die tomorrow from a car accident, or if I die from choking, or if I die from whatever fucking reason, you will regret it too.
Yeah.
So don't ever let your parents make you feel guilty just because they're older and they're like, oh, I'm gonna pass away. You can pass away too. Yeah. And they'll be filled with regrets. And this is the moment where you need to start like building a relationship with your family and building a relationship with your siblings and stuff like that. I'm glad that I have a really good relationship with my siblings and my mom and everyone. And now I feel like if they ever hurt me, I feel more even comfortable with telling them like, hey, you shouldn't be saying this.
Yeah.
Talking about like just death in general. And I also told you about how my grandma passed away so young. I never really talked to you guys about my grandma as often just because I don't feel like I need to express the type of relationship that me and my grandma had because I feel like that's so sacred to me and very like comforting to me. But I feel like this is a perfect time just because like Alan's grandpa had passed away and
you had you thinking a lot.
I had to think a lot of how Alan's processing this and how I processed it and what a person needs when they're mourning. So it's been very much like a trigger of like going back to stuff like that. And I haven't even talked about my grandma like with Alan or you guys because of course like I'm not gonna be like, oh, your grandpa passed away and then now it's all about me. You know what I mean? So like I will put myself in the situation of like, oh shit, my grandma passed away. How did I deal with it? And yeah, I was a little kid, but like now I understand how Alan's dealing with it because he had a way much stronger bond with his grandpa because he lived longer and he was able to meet me, meet his home, you know, convivir con nosotros, con sus amigos. And like, for sure, I know for a fact it hurts him a lot. Like, we had just had this conversation yesterday as well because we were talking a chisme with one of our friends about how, if you guys remember, one of my cousins had hit me up through DM fucking bitching at me. So yesterday I was telling her, I was like, I don't have to explain my relationship to my grandma to anybody because that's the relationship that I had. And I remember one thing that she said, she's like, oh, well, your mom threw you from house to house. And I was like, yeah, she would throw me to my grandma, girl. Like, my grandma would take care of me.
Not
like,
your dad.
Not my dad. My dad was in jail. My dad was doing drugs. My dad was going out to clubs. They didn't know any of that. All they saw that was my mom was dropping me off at my grandma's house, and that's it, you know? If my mom had her parents living, like, my mom would more than gladly be leaving us with her family. Why would she want us to be living over there, you know?
But at the end of the day, the only family that she had here was your
My dad's side of the family.
So who else was she fucking go?
Exactly.
Nannies are expensive. She's already working her ass off, 2-3 jobs.
She doesn't have papers.
Like,
she has nobody here.
Yeah.
So I had built this really great relationship with my grandma where she would cook me like sopa. She would cook me my favorite, which was arroz con banana. And every single time we ate, she had already eaten, but I didn't. She would also make me huevos con tortilla. That was my favorite. And nobody makes it like my grandma. Like, not even me, girl. Not even my mom, girl. And she would always tell me stories. And like, she would be the only one that would tell me the truth about my dad because she knew how important it was for me to know. Like, I had a really good relationship with my grandma. Like, I loved her with all of my fucking might. Like,
everywhere with her.
Yeah, and I will remember like running into to my aunt's house and just hugging her because I knew I was gonna be there. I just had a really good relationship with just my grandma alone. My grandpa, on the other hand, he was just more machista. He would also hit me with like wires, and he would hit me with like fucking palos.
God,
and like
damn.
he would also like put me in the closet because like I was being bad. And like, my grandpa was very machista. Like, he was.
Did he know that you were out and gay?
No.
Okay. He was just being an asshole.
He was just being a grandpa. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, basically just a grandpa. Like that's literally
an old style grandpa. Like, nothing really new. So you know, of course, it's not okay. He shouldn't have done that in the first place. But
when you're a Hispanic household, like, it's a norm.
Yeah, and plus my dad wasn't around, so he was pretty much like my second dad. Like, I would learn from him. You know what I mean? Going back to like my grandma, the way that I found out was my grandma had already been in the hospital for like days now, and I had visited her a day before she had passed away. She was feeling so much better, girl, like so much better. She was standing up on her bed. We were eating together, estábamos hablando. We were watching Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs on Spanish in the hospital. I kept holding her hand. I told her how much I loved her. At that moment, like, just seeing my grandma, I knew she was gonna get better. In my little tiny brain, I went home and I was like, oh my God, my grandma's gonna feel so much better. Like,
she's gonna come
I can't
home
wait
soon.
to see her home. Like, my grandma was my comfort spot because my dad was such a fucking asshole. And when I would tell her like, oh, where's my dad? She would straight up fucking tell me like, oh, he's in jail, pero está bien, mijo. No te preocupes, todo está bien. Like, yo te cuido. And like, the fact that my cousin even had the audacity to tell me, oh, you got the date fucking wrong of when my grandma passed away. My grandma had passed away the night before I went to go visit her. So as soon as she passed away, everyone was there.
Nobody told him.
Nobody had told me. My aunts were debating either to tell my mom or not because they knew how good of a relationship I had. And they didn't call my mom until 3 o'clock in the morning, and I was sleeping. I woke up and my mom told me, I swear, I still remember all of this vividly. Like, she was shaking my leg. She's like, mijo, levántate. Like, I have something to tell you. And I was like, okay, ¿qué pasó? And she's like, pero I need you to be awake. Like, puedes, like, are you understanding? I rubbed my eyes and I was like, ¿qué pasó? And then she goes, ¿estás despierto? Like, for sure? And I was like, yeah, nada más dime. And like, she kept rubbing my feet. And then my mom's friend at the time, she was there, and she just woke up from like my mom hearing us talking, and she grabbed and patted my back. I'm sure she had already known. And then my mom just ended up telling me, she's like, oh, mijo, tu abuelita passed away. And like, dude, I just ran to the fucking restroom. I promise you guys, I wanted to fucking kill myself at that moment. I just couldn't see myself like without my grandma. I fucking buried myself deep into the restroom. I even fucking locked the door. I put myself like against the door. And I was so fucking down to take pills, dude. I was so fucking down. Until my mom told me, she's like, you need to calm down. Like, and then she told me, she's like, ¿Quieres ver a Irla, verla? And in my head, I was like, fuck, like, am I really gonna go see her? Like, is this gonna be real to me? Like, is this like
actually happening?
Is this really happening? And then I promise you guys, from when I got out of the restroom to going to the hospital, I don't remember shit. I don't remember how I got there. I don't remember going upstairs. All I remember is seeing all of my cousins in the waiting room sleeping, and my grandma was like in a glass place. I guess that's where they put like all the people that have passed away, and she was just laying there, and I still couldn't believe it. Like, she just looked like she was sleeping, and they were like, "Don't touch her, don't touch her, like don't touch her because she's dead. Like you can't touch her, like." For whatever fucking reason.
Why you can't touch her?
And I didn't give a fuck, bitch. I fucking took off my glove and I held her hand, like, and she was so fucking cold. Like, you don't know the coldness of a human being until you feel it.
Yeah.
And right there, as I held her hand, I just knew she fucking died. I just knew it. Like, I just fucking knew it. And I just couldn't fucking, like, stand the fact that I couldn't do anything. As soon as we left, all my fucking cousins were all fucking talking shit about how I didn't fucking stay there, and like why didn't I stay there, and why didn't my mom let me fucking stay there? Like, bitch, I was a whole ass fucking child. How the fuck am I gonna stay there?
And
Especially because
assholes.
you guys were always assholes to my mom. Like, how the fuck am I supposed to stay there? Like, you guys didn't make me or my family feel comfortable. Like, the fuck? And I had already had problems with my dad, like, prior to this. After that, I really don't remember much other than going to the funeral. And my mom didn't end up taking us at the time. It was one of her closest friends. And I just remember one of my aunts, like, getting on her knees and, like, crying to her, like, fucking casket. And then I went over there and I saw her, and it didn't look like her. And, like, she had, like a stain of lipstick right here, and I thought it was blood, but it was just a stain of lipstick. And because she passed away from cancer, so she didn't have hair, so they put on a wig of hers. So, like, it just didn't look like my grandma anymore. So, like, I just didn't know how to feel at that moment. But my mom's bestest friend was there. And like I said, I was still having problems at the time with my dad. So we were walking the aisle, like, trying to go all the way back because we didn't want to sit with the family because, like I said, they never made us feel comfortable. And, like, especially even with my grandma passing away, they didn't make us feel any type of comfortable around that time. So, and not only that, my stupid ass dad at the time had brought his fucking wife and his other kids. And I'm like, girl, like, why are they even here? Like, they didn't even had a relationship with her. Matter of fact, your fucking wife would talk shit about her. So, like,
Why
the fuck?
she here?
So why was she here? So as soon as I was walking all the way back from the end of the church, he tries to grab me, and I fucking straight up tell him in church, I was like, don't fucking touch me. My mom's friend at the time, she's like, ¿Por qué lo estás tocando? And literally grabbed me, and we fucking left to the back of the thing, and I was still there. I wish my dad wasn't the person he was because my grandma's passing definitely did affect me a lot, and I wish I would have been. I still don't even know if they did like the 9 days of the Rosario. I didn't even fucking know about that. I didn't even know that existed until now. Not even for Lisa's dad when he passed away. I didn't know that they did any of that. I know that now. Like, and to think about it, like, what if my grandma had that? And I wasn't there because these bitches didn't want to involve me. And not only that, like, there was a time where one of my aunts literally told all of the nephews to go pick something out from my grandma's room to remember her by. And I didn't get included in that. I didn't even find out until months later after she had passed away. And I found it. I found a perfume in my cousin's closet. I smelt it and I asked her, and she said, oh, it was my grandma's. And I was like, how'd you get this? And she said, oh, I got it because they let us go inside my grandma's room and they let us take whatever we wanted. And I was like, what the fuck? So from then on,
that perfume?
Huh?
Did you end up taking that perfume?
No, I didn't, because she grabbed it from me and she hid it. So after that, I never had anything from my grandma until now. When I was doing my whole paperwork for my visa, I looked at my birth certificate and she had her thumbprint there because I guess she didn't know how to write. So instead of having her write her name, she had her thumbprint. So
you ended up getting
I ended up getting that tattooed like right here. If you guys can see, it's a little star with just her thumbprint. I don't know if y'all can see it.
But I think, I could see it.
Yeah, I ended up getting that, and
you weren't able to process everything good as a kid and actually see what the fuck was actually going on. It fucking sucks, dude.
I wish I would have paid more. I wish I would have paid more respect to my grandma as she passed away, because I never got that closure.
But at the end of the day, because your dad's side of the family didn't allow you to have that.
Yeah, no.
They literally made sure that you were gonna be like fucking not being able to grieve that from that or get any closure for shit.
I feel like they were like
fucking did that shit at the end of the day, because if they knew how close of a relationship you had with your grandma, they were just being fucking assholes at that
still
point.
till this day, they don't even know how close of a relationship that I had to my grandma. They just assume, they're like, oh, you never knew my grandma, like you can't even get the correct day. And like I said, it was I still have my visitation sticker from the next day that I went to go visit her. That's more important to me. I understand that the day before was the day that she had passed away, but the day that I went to go visit her has a way more importance. Why? Because that was the only day I got to see her.
Yeah.
Only day I got to fucking see her besides the funeral.
Yeah.
Like, girl, like that was the last time I was able to touch my grandma, girl. Like, and like I said, I don't have to explain my relationship to absolutely everybody, especially them. Everyone has their own relationship with their grandma.
But at the end of the day,
everyone has a different grandma in their own eyes. Mm-hmm. And if you think that you had a good relationship with your grandma, great. If I think I had a great relationship with my grandma, great. There's no competition, girl. Like at the end of the day, our grandma passed away,
and it's family, and we all need to unite.
We all need to unite.
We all need
like
closure, and that's that.
And that's why that family has never been able to be happy, because all they do is talk shit and fucking like they worry about what people have done to them in the past, than having to deal with what they're dealing with now, and they don't find any closure with them.
Exactly.
You know, that's why I decided to step away from that family. Like, they've done too much where I just don't need that anymore.
You don't. One question before we end this, obviously, is do you remember your last memory that you had with your grandma? Was it at the hospital?
Yeah, it was that day.
That day with the quality of the...
Yeah, that was the last time. That was a very, very, very last time.
And that was how many days prior?
My grandma, a day before she had passed away, because she got better.
Oh, yeah, because that's the thing that I will say, guys. It's crazy how it works, how death works, because they could do so good at one point, but when they're doing good, that's when you know that's going to be their final moments, because that's literally how my grandpa was.
And Alan's grandpa was. It's just a lot. But yeah, y'all. Oh my God, dude, it was a lot. I didn't think I was going to cry either. I don't cry as often about my grandma anymore, because I feel like I found my closure. But it's always the memory of how it processed and how I was dealing with it at the moment that triggers me a lot. As soon as my grandma passed away, that's when I had suicidal thoughts, and it's never stopped since then. And then I got therapy, and then therapy just didn't work. And then senior year, I feel like my suicide thoughts didn't go away until my mom put into perspective of like, you about to cry again?
It's okay.
She had told me one day, she's like, if you do this, she's like, if you do this, you're going to make me suffer. You're going to make your sister suffer. You're going to make your brother suffer. You're going to make everyone that knows you suffer. And I know you're suffering right now, but we can help you. We're your family and we love you. We don't know how to show it as often, but we can do anything to get better. I feel like my mom, like right when I started telling her like I wanted to, all she tried to do was try to save me. And like, I praise my mom for all of that, because
not all moms can do that.
She literally was like so real with me. She made me feel like I had a purpose. Like I have a purpose to live for my mom, because I don't want to see my mom cry for me. I don't want to see my sister cry for me. And then not only that, I don't want to hear like, oh yeah, my brother killed himself or he was a pastor, whatever, you know? So for sure, I feel like my mom definitely did save my life because of that. I literally put my big boy pants on and I was like, you're right. I was like, you're right. I was like, I might be suffering, but they'll suffer more, because I know that I'm not the best as a person, but I know that there's more to life than wanting to kill yourself. And like, every day, like I literally like every day, like it is a battle for me to understand that, like, oh fuck, like I shouldn't be thinking like this. But then I kind of always remember, like, I'm excited to hit like milestones. I'm excited to hit my house. Like, imagine if I would have done something, like I wouldn't have had Alan, I wouldn't have Irma, I wouldn't have my house, I wouldn't have my doggies, I wouldn't have this office, this podcast, I wouldn't have anything. I would literally be dead. Like, and that's stuff that I always think about is like, I know I have a purpose in life, not for others, but for myself, because life is worth living for. I promise y'all, for anybody that's going out there, like, it's hard today. It's not a hard life. It's just a hard day. Yeah. So just remember that you are loved, even though you don't feel it. You are cared for. You have a purpose. Anyways, girl, next question.
Enough of the crying, because honestly, I feel like this episode for sure was a little tough one. I really, honestly, like, it's hard to believe that shit like this is literally going on right now.
Yeah.
And I feel like with everything, like, it just puts so much perspective into our minds, and like, to just appreciate every little thing, appreciate your parents, appreciate your loved ones, appreciate your siblings, because
appreciate yourself.
Sure. Appreciate yourself, because sometimes we forget to appreciate those small things, and at the end of the day, sometimes they won't last long. So, of course, let's go right ahead and just end the episode here, guys.
Yes, but I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. It was definitely another emotional roller coaster.
It really was.
So please get off this ride right now so the next people can go in the ride, please. But I hope you guys enjoyed this week's episode. Go ahead and comment down below. Let's get our comment section to at least 200 comments, and next week I will punch Irma in the face. But yeah, you guys, go ahead and comment down below what was your favorite part. Come back up, click that like button and the subscribe button, and don't forget to follow us at all of our social medias at Call Me Danny,
and mine are My Tits XO. And also don't forget to follow the Let's Talk Pendejadas on Instagram and on TikTok. And let's just leave with a positive affirmation to go right ahead and end our episode with the positive mindful thinking. And the quote of the day is, I actually got this from, I actually forgot where, but I just thought it hit good. But this quote says, you can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails.
What? Are you trying to sell me something?
You don't get it?
No, I don't get it.
You can't control the wind, but you could adjust your own sails. Like your own your own boat. You could control your own
like a boat.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Sails,
okay.
Like the little
yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Irma.
So
that is so cute. I love that a lot. I love that one.
I know, right?
That's so. Wow. No, that one was so good.
No, honestly, I saw that and I was like, damn, like I feel like it just kind of put me in a whole different perspective, and that's why I feel like right now I'm just everywhere and stuff, and I think I'll probably keep on crying till the end of this. But anyways, guys, overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Bye.